Now, in the United States, we're waiting for President Joe Biden to announce that he is going to temporarily close the US-Mexican border to migrants whenever numbers of illegal crossings become excessive. It's being seen as a bid by him to address one of the political weak spots in his re-election campaign against Donald Trump. Well, let's cross over now to Washington and speak to the US political analyst Calvin Dark. And thanks very much for being with us. Is that how you see it, an attempt to strengthen the Biden campaign in the face of what Donald Trump's been saying about crossings from Mexico?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me. Yes, this is about an election. Ironically, the problem that we have at the border is doing better than it was, say, a few months ago. So it's not as if it has now reached a peak that Biden feels he has to do something. Politically, he knows that the problem at the border, our immigration system, is his biggest weakness. And immigration is the former President Trump's biggest strength. To be honest, the Biden administration for the first 3.5 years didn't really have a comprehensive fix that could get Republican support. And then when they did kind of cave in and come up with a compromise proposal for electoral reasons, former President Trump told Republicans not to accept it. So Biden is trying to do whatever he can so he can check this box before the vote in November.
How big an issue in the campaign do you think that immigration is going to be?
It's a very big issue. And as we know, this is the biggest issue for Donald Trump. It's the issue where voters, Republicans and Democrats, feel least confident in Biden. And Biden, if what he unveils today is what he has been previewing, he's going to have problems from both sides. From conservatives, they're going to say that he waited until now to do something for a problem that's been a really big crisis since he started. And also that he's essentially using what Trump had in place that he got rid of on day one. On the Democratic side, he's going to get a lot of criticism from folks who say that what he is using is exactly what he campaigned against. He said that he wanted to have a humane immigration system, one that did not reflect the Trump era policies. And it seems he's going back to those with slight humanitarian modifications. So really today, I don't know exactly with whom for the president's going to win.
And let's just be clear what this is going to be, what this announcement in the next few minutes is going to be. It's an executive order, isn't it?
Yes, and I think that once you strip away the politics, that's the biggest issue today. And Biden has said this repeatedly, that whatever he does today can be undone by whoever wins the election in November, if it's not President Biden. To really fix our immigration system, we need comprehensive reform that has bipartisan support that it can get through both houses of Congress and signature by the president. But for Democratic and Republican administrations, basically for my lifetime, they haven't been able to do that.
Politically, do you think a move like this will do well for Joe Biden, or are voters going to read through it?
I think that most centrist Democrats will realize that he had to do something because it was a vulnerability. I think that he is going to potentially lose some support among the most liberal because this is returning to the Trump policies. He may gain in the middle, people who don't want to vote for Donald Trump, and the immigration issue was the remaining issue where they didn't feel confident. But we have to remember, everything about this election is about the alternative. And even the left wing of the Democratic Party, even those who didn't like the Trump policies, even those in the middle who are not sure if this is a good fix, the alternative is Donald Trump. And for a lot of people, that's a no-go. So the exact effect on the election remains to be seen.
Indeed. All right, Calvin, good to talk to you. Thank you so much for your analysis. That's Calvin Dark there, US political analyst, with the latest. And we're still waiting for Joe Biden to appear there in Washington at the podium to announce that executive order. But of course, we'll cross live to it as soon as we see him.